Koikimedia, live from Benin Republic, point of no return. Share the program to invite others to so as well. As we continue to give us everything unique about Africa and what played out during the colonial era, we would like to appreciate once again the people of the Republic and the government of President Patrick Talon. Point of no return in Benin Republic is known as the door of no return. When you get to that door, you are not likely to return back home, and you become extracted into one of the slaves that will be taken to Europe and that will be taken to other continents away from Africa. As we know, the door of no return, as we have a similar one in Nigeria called point of no return, this one is known as the door of no return. Le Port de Retour in French is a memorial in Ouidah, Benin Republic, that marks the point where enslaved Africans were forced onto slave ships. And this is just one out of many memories that Africans have had to endure, experience, due to the fact that slave trade was something that we will never forget. And this is why Koikimedia have decided to come closer to the door of no return, so that we can be able to understand the magnitude and the effect of what actually played out during this period. It's a memory that many of our forefathers, our mothers, have already experienced, and we would like to remind many of us that this is something that is very painful. Once again, as we say all the time, Koikimedia bring it closer to your doorstep, and that's exactly what the fourth day of the month of March 2025, with that in Cotonou. With that is just about an hour away from Cotonou. years and returning back to experience 8 is something that many of us continue to ask questions. What can we do? What more do we need to do to convince many Africans, Yorubas, and many others that we can do it in this generation? We can rewrite our identity. We can tell the world how we feel. The damage of the slave trade on our lives. The damage of the slave trade is still affecting most parts of Africa today. 1884, as we have talked about it many times, most of these part of the world were all divided by those that never understand our culture, our identity, who we are. And today, that is what we are currently facing in Nigeria, where many different indigenous people were marched together in 1914 by Lugard. Until date, we are still experiencing that there is no collaboration, there is no unity, and there is no union between many people that are called Nigerians. And until we return back to what and where we are before the 1914 amalgamation, we will continue to be slaves to the Europeans, the Americans. And this is the reason why we say thank you so much to the President Patrick Stallone for structuring back as a reminder for this generation that we need to stop what was created. The amalgamation expired in 2014, and there's no need for us to continue with that fraudulent amalgamation known as Nigeria. Nigeria needs to be divided, and there's no doubt about it. The 1914 amalgamation expired in 2014. The Yorubas are different from the Hausas are different from the Igbos. All the indigenous people needs to live separate so that we can have a peace. But until then, there will be more trouble. There will be more crisis. And as you can see, the funding of terrorism by many of the Europeans has led to why many of us had to flee. Imagine what our forefathers, our mothers had to endure when they were moved during the colonial time from this passage straight into the sea, where ships were all ready to take them out, taking them to where? Taking them to different parts of the continent as slaves. But today, many of us have decided to travel to Europe, like I did 25 years ago. Travel to United Kingdom looking for greener pasture when the beauty is right here in Africa. The weather is beautiful, the resources are there, but most of these resources have been stolen. They have taken continuously around broadcast. There are many resources left in Nigeria in more than trillions of dollars. And today, we are saying that under the leadership of Professor Adebanji Akintoye, that the only option left for the way the Yoruba people is to exit Nigeria peacefully, and that will give us and return us back to who we are. We will never forgive those that created these, and we can never forget. But the only way we can remind ourselves is when we look at these images and see how our fathers, our mothers were moved from the continent. And today we are still being looked as the second generation really continues to be there. And one thing we need to remind ourselves is that the work is not yet finished. So when we talk about the damage that has been done on our lives, these are damages that we must continue to talk about. And that is why we are here today in Koikimedia, where we are currently giving you, for those of you that have never visited this place, it is outskirts of Cotonou. Rest assured, as we say all the time, that Koikimedia will bring you the best out of whatever you might probably have never experienced before. And that's exactly what we are doing today. Giving it to you, as many of you might not understand the magnitude and the damage that has been done. We can rewrite the history, or we can leave it. Fanfani gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tó ń gbọ́ mi. Eléyìí la ṣe sọ fún ara wa pé at 90, an historian that started writing articles about Ìran Yorùbá láti 1970. Ìwé yẹn ti wà nílé ìfẹ́ tí ẹ bá fẹ́ ìwé yẹn ti ẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀. Bàbá yẹn ti sọ fún wa pé wàhálà tí àwọn òyìnbó kó wa sí òun náà ni a ṣì ń jèrè ẹ̀ nínú Nàìjíríà lé. Tí a bá fẹ́ jèrè ayé wa, tí a fẹ́ rí ayé gbé, a gbọ́dọ̀ fi Nàìjíríà sílẹ̀. A gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ kí nǹkan pè ní Nàìjíríà kó kúrò nínú ayé wa, nítorí pé many of what tí à ń wò lẹ́nu òun ni ibi tí wọ́n gbé àwọn bàbá ńlá wa, àwọn ìyá ńlá wa tó gbé wọn bà. Ìdí tí a ṣe ń pariwo pé ká dá dúró kò mú ìjà dání. Tàbá dá dúró, à á lè rewrite history yẹn padà. Identity wa tí wọ́n jí lọ ní 1914 lọ́ fi gbé wa ní Nàìjíríà, à á lè dá padà. Ìyẹn la ṣe sọ pé nípa tó bá tó máa jáde láìpẹ́ ìfúnra lè jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa ká jáde. Ká fi ẹ̀dùn ọkàn wa hàn, ká sọ fún àgbáyé pé àwọn àti Nàìjíríà àṣepọ̀ yẹn dánmọ́ránmọ́. Kó tó di pé a máa lọ. Wọ́n bá ti gbọ́ ẹni opportunity. Ẹ rántí pé Google ìtàn fẹ́ ṣe ní kọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ pọ̀ lọ́wọ́. Omi tẹ̀ ń wò yìí, àwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìlú kan ní. Àwa làwa ní omi tó gba gbogbo wọ́n ti tó kù Syria lónìí. Omi jẹ́ ìjọba fàìtà. Ṣé kan tó ń bẹ láṣọ àǹfààní tí omi ilé ṣe fún wa? Generations and generations will enjoy it. But àwọn kan ti ní àníyàn, intention láti fi gbalẹ̀ yẹn mọ́. Àwa ní ká sọ fún àwọn tó fi gbà pé a nígbà kọ́kọ́ wọn mọ̀ wọ́n. Kó tó ní a máa parí ẹ̀, mo kí bàbá mi ọmọ Adéyẹmọ olóyè Sunday. Mo kí ẹ dáadáa fún iṣẹ́ takuntakun tí ó ta wá lómijì nígbà táwọn Fúlàní bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí wọlé tán pa wá. Tó ní kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá dìde, kí a má jẹ́ kí ìyà táwọn bàbá ńlá wa, ìyà tí wọ́n fi wọ́n jẹ kó má bàa lọ gbé. Ó dìde lóòótọ́, àmọ́ wọ́n lé ẹ kúrò nílùú. Àwa mọ̀ pé àwọn tó nílẹ̀ Yorùbá wọn ò ní fẹ́ sílẹ̀ wá dúró tì ẹ́. Bó ṣe dúró tì bàbá wa Professor Adébánjọ Akíntóyè lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí wọn kí President Patrick Talon látara pé ní ọdún mẹ́ta bàbá wa àti Professor Akíntóyè fi wà nínú ìjọba tí wọ́n fún wọn sí ibi ìbàyẹ̀ wọ́n fi iṣẹ́ ẹ̀ṣọ́ wọn. Dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo láti Àjàṣẹ́, Èkó-Bẹ́, Èkìtì, ní gbogbo Benin Republic títí dé Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana àti gbogbo Yorùbá tó bẹ̀ ní orúkọ tèmi náà ó ti yí padà. Sí Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Oníkẹ́tùbọ̀ support iléeṣẹ́ ìpínlẹ̀ lè túbọ̀ tẹ̀síwájú torí iṣẹ́ wà tí a fẹ́ fi wọ̀ wá. Nínú Áfíríkà, èyí tá a máa fi wọ̀n wá ní Europe, ìyẹn náà tó gẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká fi Áfíríkà wọ̀n wá. Ṣùgbọ́n kí ìyẹn lè jẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọ wa ta bí sí Amẹ́ríkà, sí Canada, kí wọ́n lè mọ̀ fáwọn lè padà wá sílé. Ilé ní àwọn òsínmi oko, wọ́n lè kọ́lé sí Benin Republic, wọ́n lè nílé sílẹ̀ Yorùbá, wọ́n lè nílé sí Togo, àmọ́ Nàìjíríà ò lè wọ́n. Ìyẹn láti sọ ọ̀nà that note, ibi tá a máa fi sílẹ̀, àwọn kan lè reflect, wọ́n lè tọrọ àforíjì fún àwọn tí wọ́n tà wá. Torí àmọ́ báwọn kan náà tó wà lára àwọn tí wọ́n tà wá fáwọn ọ̀gbọ́n yẹn. Ọ̀nà àforíjì gbogbo àwọn tó gba bíbá kọjá tí wọ́n fi di pé wọ́n gbé wọn lọ. Tó ti di pé nísìnyí àwa là ń wá visa láti fi lọ sí oko ẹrú míì. Oko ẹrú ilé wọn fọ́ọ̀sì wọn lọ ni àwa là ń ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì, là ń wá visa, là ń fẹ́ lọ nísìnyí bébí náà ṣe lọ. Mo kí àwọn backend tèmi tán ṣiṣẹ́ dáadáa. Ọ̀tọ̀ lẹni tó máa di kámẹ́rà mú, ọ̀tọ̀ lẹni tó drive wa, ọ̀tọ̀ lẹni tó máa produce gbogbo ta fi ń jẹ́ kí ẹ̀rín eléyìí wò. Ẹ̀yin náà wá support wa kí àlùyọ̀ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ṣe. Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorsteps.